Hola, soy el pastor Jonny Marin de Iglesia Vida Nueva y esta es mi historia. This is my story. 2016, I was asking the Lord to open doors. I was asking God to allow us to move to the next level. I knew the Lord has called me and my family for ministry, but I didn't know exactly what the Lord wanted to do with us. We were in a revival in Brazil in 2016, and we heard the Lord spoke to us that He was going to supply all our needs. My wife resigned her job there in Brazil, believing in the word. And at some point, we were in a service, and a lady came to speaking in tongues. She was speaking Portuguese and praying for my wife. When she was praying, my wife asked the Lord, God, I want to understand what she's speaking. And immediately, she began to speak in Spanish, perfect Spanish, in tongues. And my wife, she just keep praying. And when I was finished preaching, we came down and speak to the lady, asking her how she would learn Spanish. And she looked at us in Portuguese and said, I don't speak Spanish. And we understood that it was the Lord speaking through her, saying that the Lord was going to take care in our lives, everything in our lives. And since then, the Lord has been done incredible things. We received a call from Pastor Hannibal. He was a pastor back then. I was in Cooper City for about 18 years, a licensed minister. And once we received that call, Pastor told me, Jonny, I need you to come as soon as you arrive to Fort Lauderdale to my office. I told him, Pastor, I will arrive around 3 in the morning. He said, I need you to come. I received a letter, and then I came to his office. He sat with me, and he told me the proposal that New Life have sent to him about coming, us and my family coming to help with the Spanish work here in New Life. We knew it was the Lord opening a door because we were praying for God to open this door. We were praying for a pastor to hear the voice and allow us to be sent. But we didn't want to move just by emotions. I asked my pastor, what do you think? He told me, pray, but this is a great door that you need to go. So I began to pray. And that time we had camp. It was camp meeting. I wanted to hear the voice of God. I didn't want to move just by emotions. One of the things I always said, I travel all around the United States playing the bass, music, preaching. One of the areas that I said always, I will never move to Tampa. I would rather move to Orlando, but I will never move to Tampa. My sister-in-law used to live here in Tampa. And it was funny because when we received the letter, it was here in Tampa. So it was many things happening at the same time. We went to camp meeting. I wanted to hear the voice of God. And when I was hearing the voice of God, I was even in the offering, just waiting for God to speak to me. I didn't hear anything from the Lord in camp meeting about coming to Tampa. And that was the Saturday night. We finished music, everything. That Saturday night, Saturday morning, it was about 3 in the morning. I woke up and I started praying. And I told the Lord, I'd rather stay in my former church. I'd rather stay in my church playing the bass, but I don't want to move if you are not with me. I don't want to move. I don't want to go if you are not with me. And immediately I fell asleep. And when I fell asleep, in my dream, I had a vision. I never have dreams. I never have visions. The Lord doesn't talk to me that way. But that day, I had a vision, and in the vision, the first thing I saw is that I came with my family to a church that it was very disorganized, a church that didn't have a pastor, and they were asking one person, you're preaching today, you're singing today. No, I'm not singing. And that, it was driving me crazy. And I told my wife, Babe, let's go. We don't, I can't stand this anymore. And I grabbed her hand. And when I grabbed her hand to leave, a sister grabbed my hand and she said, Pastor, please don't leave us. And out of nowhere, everything went black again. And when I raised my head and that dream or that vision, I saw a big multitude, a big church all around. And I knew I was the pastor of that church. And when I opened my eyes and I looked at the congregation next to me, I saw Pastor Collins. He was next to me. And that's when I knew and I understood that it didn't matter what was going to happen. It didn't matter. I was never here in Tampa. I didn't know IVN. I didn't know New Life. I didn't know anything. But I knew the Lord spoke to me about coming to Tampa. And I knew if He was with me, everything was going to be all right.